Alright, so I'm ready to put things back together. One interesting thing is that there's a passageway on the front of the intake manifold, and somebody has blocked that off. I don't know what it does or what it connects. There are no ports on the bottom of the carburetor that match up. Well, there's one up here, but there's nothing that matches. I do have a gasket that matches this manifold exactly, so I'm going to use that one. But on the bottom of the carburetor, there's nothing that feeds off of here. There is one port there, but I think it's also blocked off. I don't think it has, I don't know what it does. This is the port I'm talking about, and I guess I take it back. It's got a passageway here, that this has a passage over to here. So there is a vacuum feed to there. And like I say, it's been blocked off forever. I don't know why those holes are blocked, and if they go down to manifold, they don't go through where I can pick them up from inside the manifold. So I don't know what their purpose is. I'm just going to make a note of it, and I'm going to leave them alone for now. And if I have trouble, I may pull the carburetor back off and explore those some more. But I don't see a purpose for them at the moment. So I'm going to use that gasket, and you'll note that there's that solid hose line that I said was on the back corner. Here's the one for the brakes, PCV. So now we can set this guy back down and run the bolts in. I don't think I'm quite square because that fitting wasn't fed in yet. There, that gets that one running. Okay. Before I run any bolts in, I'm going to get these fittings started, because sometimes it helps to be able to wiggle things a little. That looks pretty good. Get the back one started. That's doing pretty good. Got this one here for the choke. It's only a 3/8. There we go. That one's a 7/16. That's good. That hose off for a moment. Still need to run the bolts down, but I'm going to get this one in the back. And that was like a 11/16. I don't remember. Nope, smaller. Right now, can't clear the casting with the flare wrench until the nut gets in further. And frankly, today, I don't really need the flare wrench. It's just for insurance, trying to break things loose. Put you down, nice and snug. snug. The PCB up. So, alright, got the hose hooked up. Back to the distributor, vacuum advance. And then this one should just pop back on here. Like so. Looks good. Alright. Alright, I'm going to try to start this up and see if I can make it run. One last note was I had forgotten to hook up the fuel line. My fuel feed is from a 5-gallon can on the floor because the tank is empty, and if I get this successful, I'm going to pour the 5 gallons in the tank, but for the moment I'm holding off till I get proof. And you may have a little trouble hearing me at the moment. I've turned the microphone sensitivity way down since I was overloading it the last time, and we'll see if that's any better. That's better than it was the last time. Still not quite as nice as I'd like, but it's a start. Fire it back up, see what we got. I think what I'm going to do now, the way that's behaving is I get going for a while and I get a misfire. I'm going to guess that even though I had spark, I'm going to suspect that I probably need points in condenser and that the ignition is probably not what it should be. Because it runs along good for a while, and then you can hear it misfire, and it's not like it's loading, it's not like it's running rich or lean. But hey, that's great. I mean, I can fire it up and run it. And it sounds pretty good when you tip into it. So I think what I will probably do is check on ignition next. Even though I checked it and we had some, it's probably time to go ahead and replace the parts and see what we can do. Well, I'm trying a little more. I put my dwell meter on here. She's idling at 500 RPM, which is good. And the dwell reading is sitting here right about 30, which it should be. Right at the moment, it's pretty happy. I kind of thought what I would do is see if I can catch it acting up. Like it's starting to do now. It's doing pretty well at the moment. Now got to the point where it's warmed up. It's just warm enough that I can start to get some coolant to the radiator. I can see it here in the dwell meter. When she kicks, the dwell is dropping. So when it's behaving pretty good now that it warmed up, but every now and then it starts to drop out. And I can watch the dwell meter drop down and then come back. And one thing I've encountered with old cars before, they think parts at age, one of the bad ones is the condenser. That 62 Chevy I was working on had a bad condenser. And it was bad all the time. They can start to go intermittent and kind of like arc through when you're running on the points, and then you start losing ignition. My old '69 Mustang, years and years ago, I ran it with an electronic ignition on it, never changed the condenser for like 10 years. And one day I'm going down the road and the tach needle just goes to 0 and the ignition cuts out. And it came back enough that I could get home. But it's just a lesson that the condensers are a weak link in these point triggered systems. Sometimes the points are great, but the condenser isn't. So anyway, that's all I'm going to do on this one today. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back again sometime soon.